Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learn a Trade. My name is Kevin Tate, and today's lesson is titled How to Get Paid and Maintain Customer Relationships. Customer relationships and cash flow are both crucial to small businesses, so it can sometimes feel like a no-win situation if you're sitting on a stack of unpaid invoices. On one hand, 54% of businesses say it takes too long to collect payments, and 45% say clients don't pay on time. This was from an article in SmallBizTrends. Furthermore, the average small business is owed $84,000, according to Entrepreneur, and 81% are 30 days past due. It's no wonder cash flow management plays a role in 82% of small business failures. On the other hand, customers' experience in terms of billing can make or break their overall relationship with your company at a time when 67% of customers can be identified as serial switchers, according to Forbes. These are customers who are willing to switch service providers the instant they don't feel appreciated, or they find company reps unhelpful, or they experience other service-related issues with equipment and so forth. Delivering great service and maintaining strong customer relationships can help you grow your business considerably. So what can small business owners do when faced with unwinnable situations of choosing between maintaining a customer relationship and getting an invoice paid? Simply put, they don't. They're not mutually exclusive. I'll walk you through how to keep your clients happy and receivables current and getting your invoices paid. Now on the screen, you can see I have put 6 factors up there that I find to be helpful when I, follow some of those procedures. And the first one is establish clear expectations in the agreement. Now, when I'm talking about the agreement, I know that in this industry, in the service industry, whether it's residential or if it's commercial, you get calls daily, and these calls come up all of a sudden, some of them. But no matter what, you're still speaking with someone that's in charge. You're speaking to some type of decision maker, and it's up to you as the service provider to be sure that you're clear to them on your pricing. Be clear on your pricing. I can't tell you what to charge as far as your service company goes, so I'm not putting numbers on a lot of this, but it's more so the concept that you want to follow. You want to follow the concept, and if you have your pricing set, be sure you're clear on your pricing. Ensure your prices and payment terms are clear. Um, Explain to them if you have a trip charge. Explain to them if you require a deposit up front. In most cases in this industry, we we mostly do require a deposit up front, or at least a trip charge up front. And then you want to establish that, and you want to establish that in key places, not only verbally but in writing. You can establish it on your website. You can establish it on your cards if you use business cards, if you use using flyers or whatever. You want to establish your prices clearly on these things, and you want to be sure you get that point across clearly to the customer. Request upfront payment. Number two, and now this is very common in our industry, requesting upfront payment. If you're worried that making a request for advance payment will be received by the customer as a distrust thing, consider the option of raising your standard price, your standard rate. Raise your standard rate 10 to 20%, and then offer the equivalent discount when the customer pays in advance. Explain to them, uh, you simply go with your higher rate, go 10 to 20% higher, and then explain to the customer, if you pay in advance, you will give them a discount between 10 to 20%. And they would appreciate that. They will appreciate that. Number three, implement a retainer based model, something like that. If total payment up front is not standard for you, try to implement a retainer based model. Um, you may want to look at requiring a retainer or requiring a deposit. Not only will this help weed out anyone who isn't serious about retaining or paying for your service, but it'll also catch any kinks in the invoicing and payment process, to streamline your payments later. Then four, you want to deliver your invoice on time. If you have a steady customer that you invoice with, they don't really pay you up front, but you invoice them and then you get the payment later, say like 15 to 30 days later. You'll want to stick with that consistency. You want to be consistent on sending out your invoices. Most business owners plan to send invoices on a specific day, such as a first business day of the month or the last Friday of the month. They'll send out invoices to the customers that have not paid up front. And then, however, the best laid plans can always go astray when things get busy. So you can lose track of that when you get built backed up with a bunch of calls and stuff like that. But you want to try to stay on top of sending out your invoices on a regular schedule. And that way, your existing customers, they're used to that. They're used to that flow of your invoices coming in. Then next is number five, invoice more often. What I mean by invoicing more often is, if you have customers that you invoice regularly, you want to invoice more often. You want to send that invoice to their email. You want to send the invoice through text if you can, to their phone number. You can also send out invoice through the mail, um, or even leaving voicemail or leaving messages. If it's a commercial site, you can call the office and leave a message that invoice is due. You know, create an invoice cycle with multiple touch points across a variety of channels so that they're aware of the invoice that is due. And with that, your initial invoice, send the initial invoice notice as soon as possible. If you finish a job on Tuesday, you want to send that invoice out on Wednesday. You know, um, just as you can offer a prepayment discount, you may want to consider offering an early payment discount. You know, if they pay the invoice early, you'll discount it 10%. Things like that. You just want to be able to always give your customers options to things. Okay, send out reminders before the due date. Give clients another reminder as the deadline draws near. Some service businesses do this a week ahead of time, a day before the payment is due, or both. Ensure any late fees that they may accrue are highlighted to nudge them a little bit to pay before the deadline hits. Send out reminders after. A late payment notice should go out immediately after the invoice is marked overdue. If you notice that you were supposed to receive payment from such and such on Friday and you haven't received anything by Tuesday, that customer is late on payment. So you want to make sure you send a reminder. Hey, you just a reminder, your invoice is due. Your invoice is overdue, I mean. So I hope that's clear. You want to constantly keep in contact with these customers, as far as invoicing and communicating with them, because you just never know. Sometimes uh, life happens, things get busy, and a customer might just forget. I got to pay the service that was just done on the walk-in, or I got to pay the service that was done on a cooler or on an oven, and it skips their mind. So sending out those reminders helps nudge them along to go ahead and get that paid. And lastly, on number 6, provide a payment plan of some type. When an invoice remains unpaid, it's usually because the customer overlooked it or faced some kind of an obstacle in payment. This is a great opportunity to let your customer service skills shine through. If you're struggling with collecting unpaid invoices, talk to the customer and find out why the invoice has not been paid yet, and work together to find a mutual beneficial situation. For example, maybe they needed um, a payment plan to get caught back up. If this is the case, you may want to find out if it's easier for them to make payments in the future as well. If you're proactive, you can work to get them on a plan that gets them paying some of or all of the balance ahead of time. So you want to try to work with the customers, and within that, while you're doing it like this, you're also building a relationship with that customer, and a lot of times um, service providers get trapped in this thing of um, this customer being their friend or something like that. And this has really doesn't have much to do with friendship or anything like that. This is business, and this is your business, and you want to try to keep your percentage of non-paying customers down, and you don't want to get tied up in. I'm not saying like don't be friendly and stuff like that. I'm saying, just separate the two and don't get trapped in this person is my friend or something like that, and they're going to pay, because sooner or later that'll catch up to you, and then you have non-paying customers that have that are way overdue. So you don't want to get caught in that, and this is just to help you to prevent that. And like I said, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. I'm just offering some suggestions. So it's important not to let non-paying customers go too far down the line before you start some action, because then you're looking at getting caught in legal matters. You're looking at having to go to small claims court or go through a collection agency and stuff like that. So these are things to help you avoid those obstacles, okay? Because that's basically taking money out of your pocket at the same time, So these are steps that will help you to help that customer get their invoice paid off, and then you can still carry on your relationship, as far as customer business relationship, customer service provider relationship, and keep it on a good note. So I'm going to wrap this up right now. I hope this was some helpful information. I just want to let you know that there is a full version of this video that I get into a lot more topics on this title, and feel free to go to the website, go to the membership portal, become a member, and you can see the full version of this video as well. I appreciate you all watching. Take advantage of our membership to go see the full version of this video again. And thank you for your time. Take care and stay blessed.